What's up, guys? This is Mo's Tube working with Platinum Power Systems right here on a 70 kVA multi-quip. We've got a rear main seal as the issue. You see we got it right there. If you are unaware of how I got to this stage, I'll give a brief rundown. But if you're unaware of how to get to this stage, I do not recommend you actually take on this job. If you do, you might end up running into issues where you have more questions than answers. So number one, took off the overhead enclosure the entire way around. I disassembled and drained the radiator as well as cooler lines, and took off the fan pulley and the fan itself, the assembly with the serpentine belt. I took off the starter. I got that draped over here. Disconnected all the wiring that was sitting here. That's on the gen end side and to the back of the control panel. I went ahead and removed drain hose and such, fuel lines, the exhaust. We're gonna go to this side and I'll show you some more. So the exhaust over here bolts up, the cooler line, fuel return right here, the computer. I took off the plug itself, and you can see this panel. All I did was loosen up all bolts so that way I can get a little bit of clearance to be able to fit my tool. Didn't have one that was short enough and long enough to be able to go inside the hole to unbolt. And again with the fuel lines over here. So the plan or the project is to go ahead and replace the rear main seal, which is located back here. I still got these bolts to go ahead and take loose. I've got the engine mounts, both sides. And what the plan is to go ahead and separate the two, keep the gen end inside of the engine or the compartment itself. And then I am gonna go ahead and just secure the engine with a forklift, side shift over, give it a little tug and go in reverse, pull it out of the enclosure itself, and then service that rear main seal, and then reverse the process for the installation. I got to get rid of this upright. It's nothing more than these two bolts right here, and then I got open access. So I figured I'd make a video for the ones that have questions on this and would like to go ahead and take on the job themselves. Once again, this is not for the ones who lack the mechanical ability to go ahead and do so. There are a lot of technical movements in this operation. You want to go ahead and make sure your rigging is set up so that way you can leave the gen end inside of the enclosure rather than removing the gen end itself, leaving the engine in place. There's so much more wires you're going to have to go ahead and disconnect and then get all inside of the cabinet and such. So this is the process that I had chosen to do, is take out the engine, and it's going to be so much easier. There's very few that's attached to it, and I figure that this is going to be something that I'll be able to go ahead and take care of a little bit faster than doing the gen end side. I've done one with doing the gen end side itself. It did take quite long to do the process. We did end up having somebody come out to go ahead and service the seal for us, and we found out that they did a horrible job, as you could see. And then rather than getting all frustrated again with somebody, we got all this stuff as the residual everywhere from the job, and it still kept on leaking. You can see down there. I am going to go ahead and do it myself. I don't feel that somebody else is more capable than myself, so stay tuned. I will be updating the video with some additional features showing the seal itself, the replacement and the installation, and then the reassembly of this multi-quip. If you got any questions, please comment down below. If you find this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Once again, this is Mo's Tube with Platinum Power Systems.